Hello guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new, hi, I'm Erica. If you're not new, welcome back. So today is going to be an alocasia video. I have some alocasia chores I wanted to do with you guys today. And I also have a wish list alocasia that just came in the mail last week. Unfortunately, it came over the weekend, so I wasn't able to film an unboxing for you guys, but I'm super excited to share with you guys what I got. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and share with you guys the wishlist alocasia I ended up ordering last week. I finally broke down and ordered this one, guys. I had a little bit of a time trying to figure out which one to buy. A lot of sellers on Palm Street had these for sale, and Rare Plant Fairy had a Grower's Choice one for sale for $75. So I thought that was a really good deal. But the issue I was having was that I wanted to know the type of variegation that was going to be on the plant. So I was willing to spend just a little bit more so I could see the actual plant I was getting. So this one I found for around $95, I think, and this one was from Rare Foliage. These have been going down a lot in price lately, so you can even get them as low as $50. I have seen some sellers on Palm Street, and some of them that have a little bit lower variegation have been going for around that price as well. So these are becoming a little bit more affordable. It has been around for a while, but for me it was a wish list plant. So I finally broke down and decided to get it. So super excited. I really loved the color on this one. If you can see this leaf here, it has like that half moon almost. And I think that is so pretty. I really love this leaf as well. And then this leaf has a lot of pink on it. So I thought that was so pretty. I just really wanted one that had a lot of pink on it. So it is working on a newer leaf. So yeah, guys, there is a look at my new plant. Let me know in the comments what your favorite alocasia is. So next I'm going to go ahead and take you over to my plant cabinets, and we are going to prop up some alocasias together. So I'm going to go ahead and move some corms out of my prop box, show you guys how I grow those out, and also share with you guys how I prop up my alocasia for my shop. So it should be a rather laid back video. So if you are interested in seeing my process for growing out my alocasia corms, keep watching and I will talk to you guys here soon. So I have in this little bin here a bunch of alocasia corms, and this is just a little plastic container that I got from Target, but I start a lot of my alocasia corms in here. So as you can see, there's some that are ready to be put into a new pot, so they're growing a new leaf. So we're going to go ahead and get those out of here today. So I'm going to start by doing that, and then after that we will take a look at a few of my alocasia and see if we can find some corms in here. That way we can add some fresh corms to the little containers. So let's go ahead and pot these corms up, and then we will do a little search and see if we can find some more. So to pot these up, I'm going to be using my orchid moss, and I just went ahead and put it in a little bowl, and then I'm just going to go ahead and soak it in some water. Pretty good. So I'll set that off to the side here, and I'm just going to pot these corms up using my little 2.5-inch nursery pots. So they just look like this, and I'll link those in the description in case you're interested in these. But yeah, we're just going to look through both of my little prop containers here and just remove the alocasia corms that are ready to come out. So here's one. This one's pretty close to sprouting. Some of these look like they're dried out. I might need to add some more water to this container. Let's go ahead ahead and take a look at this other container. There's a big one ready to come out. And maybe a few others over here. That one looks pretty big, so we'll go ahead and take that one out. I think that might be it. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. Let's go ahead and add my moss. So this is just my favorite way to start my little corms. This looks like a Alocasia pink dragon. It's just got a little tiny leaf there. But after I start my corms in my perlite and strata mix, I then move them into moss to let them finish rooting. I just find that they root the best this way, and once they get 2 to 3 leaves on them, that is when I usually will list them for sale. So that's just my little process for potting up my corms. So there is the first one. This one looks like it has a pretty good size leaf. Can't really tell what this one's gonna be. I do have a lot of Alocasia aslanii corms, so most of the time I feel like that is what a lot of these corms end up being. I had a couple mother plants that gave me a whole bunch of corms over the summer, so I have just had an abundance of Alocasia aslanii, and then even some of those babies produced even more corms. So it's just been non-stop with the Alocasia aslanii. Here is this next one. And then I believe I had, this looks like this is one. This is my Alocasia Ninja. So my Alocasia Ninja gave me a whole bunch of corms as well last month. So I ended up taking a lot of corms from that plant. Some of the corms don't seem to be doing the best, so not really sure why. But a lot of the leaves are coming in really small and misshapen, I guess. So we'll see how this one does. Hopefully it's just the first leaf that does that and they'll end up being okay. But that is probably, if not my favorite, definitely my top favorite Alocasia in my collection is that Sport Variegated Ninja. I just think it is such a beautiful plant, and out of all my Alocasia, it's probably given me the least trouble. It just grows really well for me. But there is that one. There's another one. Can't really tell what this one's gonna be yet, but that leaf does look like it's about to open, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get him out of there today. And hopefully we can fill the prop box back up and have a bunch of Alocasia plants started. I was super excited because my variegated dragon scale just gave me a corm last week, so I went ahead and got that one in the prop box, and I remember to mark that one so I don't end up giving it away or misplacing it. I give away a lot of Alocasia corms in my shop just because I do have so many Alocasia in my collection, and unfortunately I just can't sell all of them. So it's just a fun thing I like to do for a lot of my buyers. Of course, I won't be able to do it for forever, but I have been able to offer that recently. So I actually had one buyer ask me what the mystery alocasia corm is, and I thought that was funny because it truly is a mystery to me when I ship it to you guys. I have no idea. Most of the time, I will just gather up random corms if I'm repotting a plant, or if I have a bunch of corms, I just kind of throw them all in there together, so I just never know what's in there. And I have decided after last time I need to start doing that, but I kind of like the excitement of not knowing what you're gonna get. So let me add some more water to this. Yeah, I just kind of think it's fun to just not know what they are until they grow. So I kind of like that. But I did know that a lot of the ones that I had in that bin this last time were Aslani, so here is all of our little alocasia props that we got potted up. So let me go ahead and move those off the mat, and then we'll take a look at our bigger plants and see if we can find some more corms. All right, guys, so the first alocasia we are going to look for corms is this Alocasia Dragon's Breath. I'll put the name of it below, but this one hasn't been doing the best. I'm not sure what happened to this new leaf. It might have got burnt off. I don't really know, but yeah, that leaf isn't looking the best. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if this guy has given me any corms yet. It's been a few months since the last time I've looked. Oh, all right, so good news here. We have 2 corms I see right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those off and just kind of poke around. Looks like this is another one. This one needs to be watered. Here's another one. And I believe that is all the ones that this plant has. So let's go ahead and stick him back in the pot. Looks like I lost a couple roots here. I think that other root was loose. I don't know where it went. Make sure to pack that down in there. Looks like we were able to get 5 corms from this Alocasia Dragon's Breath. So super excited to grow this one out. I'm hoping to grow out another mother plant and then list a few of these on my shop. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these off to the side, and I'll probably go ahead and mark them. That way we know what they are this time, so I don't have a bunch of mystery corms. But let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Right, so I just got a Sharpie here in a little container. I'm just gonna go ahead and write what this one is. That way when we move them over, we will know what they are. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. So here we have just a regular non-variegated dragon scale. I think this is the one that does get a little bit of sport variegation. Can't really, there it is. So this one does have just a tiny bit of sport variegation on it. And sometimes some of the leaves will put out just a little bit of that variegation, but for the most part, it's just a regular dragon scale. I think this one is working on a flower, if you see that right there. Pretty sure this is a flower, but let's go ahead and pull this guy out and see if we have any corms yet. This one looks like I put a lot of leca in here. I'm not seeing any yet. It's a little bit harder to feel. All right, so right there, it looks like we have one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. Set it off here. I went ahead and grabbed these little cups we could collect the corms in as we go. So this one is in a way chunkier mix, so they're kind of harder to find. But usually I will find them either at the bottom hanging off a root, or a lot of the time they'll be a little bit closer up in here. So you just gotta kind of feel around. There's one it's working on. Not sure if I'm gonna pull that guy off today. It's just a little small. All right, here's one. And this one looks like a pretty good size one, so we'll pull that off. And let's see. Yeah, so usually they'll be like right in here on the base, or sometimes they'll even come up right around the bottom here. So that looks like all we're gonna get from this one today. So let's go ahead and pot him back up. Hopefully I didn't miss any. This mix is so chunky, it's hard to even tell. This looks like one that I potted up quite a while ago, and I had just started getting into using leca, so I ended up adding a bunch of leca to this. I'm not sure why I did that. Definitely feel like I was experimenting with this one. Excuse my messy handwriting, but just so we know what that is, set that off to the side. It looks like we got 3 corms from that one. Go ahead and brush that off. Right, so this next one is really big, so I'm not going to be able to probably get it into the frame here because I am on my floor. But this is the Alocasia fried egg, non-variegated. So I just recently put out a little baby here, so I'm kind of thinking it has some more corms. So let me go ahead and try to get this guy out so you can take a look. I'm gonna remove that little baby there and then see if we can find any more corms. All right, so I'm just gonna squeeze this side. Try to get this guy out. So yeah, it looks like this one started way here on the bottom. Wow. Very interesting how this one started. So it looks like we do have a corm here. So let me go ahead and set that off to the side. See if there's any more. This one looks a little small, but we'll go ahead and grab that one. Hopefully it will be okay. This plant for over a year now, and it's been very slow with putting out corms. Oh look, here's one. It took it a while, so kind of digging around here, seeing if we can find any more. that just looks like a really long root. Not sure I'm seeing any more. This is very interesting how this one grew. It's almost like it's coming out of the plant. Hopefully we can get that little baby moved over. You could probably just leave these two and just, if you wanted a bigger plant, but since I have my little shop, I do like to share my little plant babies with everyone. Trying to check and see. The soil mix is so chunky. See if there's any in here. Right. Set him back in and we'll fill it in. Probably should have brought a scoop over here. It's kind of hard for me to see because I have the camera propped up over here on my tripod, so it's hard for me to see. So if I'm throwing dirt everywhere, guys, just know that I am partially blind as I'm repotting this. This is also a pretty good sized plant. All right, let's go ahead and set him in here and give him a little water. Go ahead and write what this one was. Hopefully I can read that and know what that is because that was very messy. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this guy in here while we have everything out. Let's go ahead and pop him in some moss. See if he will continue to grow for us. But yeah, he has a very long stem. He was just at the bottom of the plant and just had a long way to go to reach the light. So all right, so there's that little baby. Let's hope he does okay. Next, we are going to take a look at this one. This is my Alocasia Platinum Bisma. So I've had this one for quite a while now. This one is currently in pawn. So I'm curious to see if he has given us any corms. The last time I checked, he did not. So let's go ahead and dig through here and see. I'm gonna try to put this out. All right. Yeah, out of all my Alocasia with this one, for as long as I've had this one, just doesn't seem like it has been wanting to put out any corms. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the base here. I don't see any on these outer roots, but usually if we look on the base, we will be able to find some. So not seeing any there. Oh, this might be one right here. Can't really tell. Might be too soon to take that one. See if I can take this little guy off of here. So we do have one corm that I'm going to try to get potted up. This one over here looks a little small. Could try to take that one and see. yeah, not too many on this guy. Looks like it might be working on a couple right over there. All right, so I think that's all we're gonna get. We just have 2 little ones that hopefully all right, go ahead and sit him back down in here. This is one of the only alocasia that I have in Corm. This new sleeve on here, isn't that cute? I just love the color of this one. Yeah, I might just go ahead and put these in little cups by themselves since they do already have a lot of roots on them and see what happens. So these guys are going to be a little experiment. When I find corms, I really don't ever find them like this. So I don't know if it's because that particular plant was growing in pond or if it is specific to that plant that they grow like that. But usually they have that hard shell and look kind of like an acorn like this. So definitely interesting that those are coming in that way. But let me go ahead and grab a couple little cups and we'll go ahead and get those started. I have my perlite and stratum mix over here. So let's go ahead and wrap these little roots down in here. So we'll just tuck him down in here. Right, so here are these little babies. That still has a little root popping out. See how these do. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this black velvet. This was one that was in my shop for a while. I don't have a mother plant to this one, so I think I'm gonna end up keeping this guy. Let's go ahead and see if he's got any corms yet. All right, so this one has a few different ones on here. So there's 1, there's 2. And I think that's it. That might be one down here. I can't really tell. All right, so we got 2 corms from this guy. All right, so we have lots of corms to get moved over. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you guys what I ended up doing with the prop box. I ended up moving these corms over into the prop box off camera just because I wasn't sure what I was going to do yet. So I ended up coming up with this. It's been about a week now. So I ended up just writing what each alocasia is on a piece of masking tape and sticking it to the top of the little container. This will at least help me have a better idea on what each alocasia is, even though it's going to be a little easy for them to get mixed up because there's nothing really dividing them. but this should work for now. I am trying to figure out a different system for this. Back here, we still have a mystery box. So this one still has a bunch of those corms that I didn't label. So it looks like we have a tiny little pink dragon down there that's super cute, and a couple Aslani eyes. I'll end up potting those up probably sometime next week. Down here we have my little variegated dragon scale corm. So super excited to see what that looks like. Here is its mother plant. So right here is that ninja I was talking about. So if you saw earlier, I have ninja corms that are coming in, but they're coming in really deformed, and this one looks like it's almost rotting already. So not sure if that is because I'm putting them in sphagnum moss or if it's just an issue with the corm. So I might end up trying to move those Alocasia ninjas into a different substrate just to make sure it's not the moss that is causing that. But I do have quite a few alocasias that will be ready for the shop soon. So if you are interested in any of these, I will link my shop down in the description. I will probably have a lot of alocasia on there, so I'm super excited to share these guys with all of you. And yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's video. So if you aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.